Hi, Bethlehem. I'm Kaitlin Carter. Today, I wanted to share with you just a little bit of the timeline of my experience at Bethlehem, as well as what the place and the congregation and the people and the relationships have meant to me. So back in December of 2006, my Jeremy, who's now my husband, but was not at the time, we were just people who decided to go to church for church holidays. So we went Christmas Eve. A few years later, we went for Christmas. The first year that we visited Bethlehem was, like I said, December 2006, and I looked online for the ELCA church closest to our house, and we lived downtown. We lived on Marshall Street, so we were just 4 blocks from Bethlehem. We decided that night that we would head down for Christmas Eve service and see what the place was like and do something that our parents would appreciate. Over the next couple of years, we found ourselves being drawn back to Bethlehem. We were always given a good hello. While it's a large space, it was always very comfortable and very cozy, and we felt like we could be neighbors with everyone that was there with us. So as non-members, we felt comfortable inviting friends to come with us. So a couple of years, I know that we invited other friends to come and join Christmas Eve service with us. Fast forward to November of 2011. Elise, our oldest, was born. Not long after that, we contacted our old pastor, the pastor who had married us, the pastor that I grew up with, and he suggested that we check out this great little church called Bethlehem Lutheran Church. They had been through a big transition process, but they've now recently called a fantastic pastor, who was Pastor Jay, and that if we were looking to baptize our new baby, that we should check out Bethlehem. So we came for Christmas again. Once the next year, December of 2012, Jeremy had to work late and couldn't come to Christmas Eve service with me. And so it was just me and Elise, and she was just a year old. I remember distinctly at that night that Krista Stock came up and visited and said hello. Krista and I had worked together at Shields, and so it was nice to see a familiar face. A little later on, her mom and dad, Amy and Scott, came up and joined us and welcomed us, and they gave us the greatest little nativity set, finger puppets for Elise to play with because she was just a little thing at the time. The following year, Jeremy and I were both there, and it was December of 2013, and we had another baby with us. That one, I remember Lori Rosso came up to us, and of course we had never met. We were still visitors. We were not members. And said that at the earlier Christmas Eve service, the person who brought along the teddy bear who played baby Jesus during the children's sermon had decided to take their teddy bear home. And at the time, we had this little 1-month-old baby, and she asked if she could borrow our baby to be baby Jesus for the children's sermon. So Elise being just 2 and Pierce being a little baby, we decided to walk up in front and be part of the children's sermon as a family. Again, no one knew us. We were visitors. We came for Christmas Eve, like so many families and visitors come for. So we're going to fast forward just a little bit more to approximately September of 2015. I was extremely pregnant with my 3rd baby, Bergen, and we decided that it was time for us to become members. We knew that we wanted to have our kids baptized and that it was time for all of our kids to begin enjoying the fellowship of other kids and learning and Sunday school in whatever form that was. So we became members a little later in 2015. Bergen was, I believe, 3 weeks old at our first member new member class that we attended. And of course, at that point, we became members. And a little later on in 2018, it was Memorial Day weekend. All 4 of our kids were baptized at the same time. Pastor Jay said that it was the most baptisms that he had done at one time since being in Tanzania. So that was really, really special for our family to be able to enjoy all of that together as members at Bethlehem. A couple places and a couple of groups of people at Bethlehem that have really formed who I have become as an adult are what is now referred to as Eve's Circle, and also Children's Board, and of course the congregation as a whole. I remember being told of this mythical moms group at Bethlehem, and I knew that they were there, and I knew I was looking for them, and they found me. So often, women refer to their friends and their closest group as their tribe. Moms especially tend to gravitate toward this that title, and you know what? I found them. I found my tribe. I found my very best friends, those who I am most comfortable with. That group of women has meant more to me than most groups of people in my life have. Through my time working in the Children's Board and working with kids, I have had the opportunity to find a very creative outlet for myself. I had almost forgotten what that was for a long time, and given the opportunity to help design VBS and to help with other events and things like that, I really was given an opportunity to express myself, find parts of myself that I had forgotten about and that I had tucked away for a long time. So I'm grateful for that. Finally, as a congregation as a whole, my family has found a community. They are our friends. Bethlehem is our friend, and we so very much appreciated that. Jeremy went through a job change at one point. I went through job changes, and we found that Bethlehem, was a wonderful place where we know that we are going to be welcome no matter our circumstances. I have 2 quick stories before I finish up. Number one, a few years ago, a woman I work with was planning her wedding to another incredibly wonderful woman, and she had heard me tell stories of the exciting, fun things that we were doing at Bethlehem and how we were always welcoming new guests and new visitors and new members to our congregation, how wonderful things were happening. And she said, could you give me some contact information? Who could I talk to about possibly marrying us? This was before we began the RIC process. But simply through my joy that Bethlehem has given me, she thought that she may be able to find the same joy at Bethlehem. My second story, I came to a realization at one point. It was actually during the interview of Sarah Morgan to become our wonderful children's ministry coordinator. And I remember saying to her that at Bethlehem, if there's something that you want to do, it's really easy to do it. The support that the congregation gives to individuals and to new ideas and to open-mindedness is refreshing. It is an incredible gift that the congregation gives to its members. And I very, very much appreciate that. So to wrap up, I want to thank you, Bethlehem, for many, many, many things that my family has been given. And I want to thank you specifically for the 4 things that I thank God for every single day. So Bethlehem, thank you for bringing me joy and joy to my family. Bethlehem, thank you for your forgiveness. Bethlehem, thank you for showing me grace. And Bethlehem, thank you for bringing me peace.